just had somebody ask me a very simple question. Do I think that depression, anxiety, oppositional defiant disorder, OCD, borderline personality disorder, do I think that relationships, connection can heal those mental illness diagnoses? And I said, it's not what I think. We have about 1,000 kids to prove it. That when the parents are doing TP properly, the kids end up going back to the psychiatrist, and just over time, they say, wow, there's just less depression. Happier people are less depressed. People who feel all these feelings that we're putting into them with your beautiful gifts and the cards and the trips and the love and the feeling, the kamayim apanim lepanim, that you're just thinking of them as good instead of loser, and really understanding that they're not bad. You're lifting them up. So a lot of this mental illness goes away. And then the question is, was it ever real? Because if someone has a machla from Hashem, you can't heal it with games and toys and fun. Someone has a physical, true illness, right? Even though they say that laughter helps for cancer. So there is that element as well. But if someone has a mental illness, Rahman al-Itzlan, God forbid, of depression, so what could you do? And yet we see hundreds and hundreds of kids depressed, not going out of the house, or numbing themselves with drugs, and even eating disorders, which is unbelievable, one after another, that are getting better. I sent somebody to you because nobody would believe your story, and one day you have to go out there and tell the world. A real serious eating disorder. A girl who was about 15, 16, and now it's gone. And the eating disorder world is a billion-dollar industry. They say, like, what do you mean it's gone, right? It must have not really been an eating disorder. Okay, I told that to somebody. I said, I guess we get very lucky that whoever comes to me has fake diagnosis and fake eating disorders and I guess it's a school. They come to me and the mental illness diagnosis and the problems become fake. I don't know what to say. But what you're doing is much more than what I ever thought you can do. I felt like just do chesed to somebody who's not well. I didn't expect it to go away because of you. I didn't expect kids who are suicidal to get better because of your relationship. I didn't expect any of this. And Hashem should continue to help all of you. We should have complete success and go out there and help other people. That's that. I think it's the tefillas that we have. Everybody davening for each other in this group. I think that's like just beyond anything out there. Everybody hearing each other's stories and feeling with other people and caring about other people. Such a powerful group of people, tzaddikim. Also, I think that when you bend your will, it creates that Hashem bends His will. You know, the famous Baal Shem Tov says, Hashem tzilcha, God is your shadow. Who controls my shadow? I do. Baal Shem Tov said, we control Hashem. When we just have tremendous mercy, also with the Yogim Midas Harachmim, the Talmud Devarim says, when we have unconditional, incredible amounts of mercy and compassion for someone who doesn't deserve it, so to speak, that opens up the tzinar, the pipeline that Hashem showers Klal Yisrael with more chesed. So you're opening up so much for not just for your family, but refuas, yeshuas, and chesed, and rachamim, and not getting angry at your kids, and then Hashem doesn't get angry at Klal Yisrael, you're tzaddikim. So that also probably is why your kids get better. I don't know if any of this is because of what we, the actual hishtadlus. I think it's just like what you're doing is just so incredible that it's like forces Hashem's hand, as the Reb Chaim Chernovitz says. You can learn from me. If I could do it, you can do it. I could shower my kid with chesed when he doesn't deserve it or when he's not doing the right thing. You can do it, and you're all doing that. You're all doing that. Some better than others, but you're all doing that. None of you are even thinking about criticism and rules and consequences and boundaries. How do you have rules and consequences and boundaries on a sick person? And they convince you that that's what the kid needs, and then you lose the relationship, and then they get worse. You know what's amazing? If you look at the video clip when I went to visit Reb Gershon Edelstein Zatzal, and I asked him, what about mental illness. And right away he says, Haba Hotalia. They're connected to each other. If you don't have a good relationship with your parents, so then you have mental illness. I didn't understand that. I don't think anybody in the multi-billion-dollar industry of mental illness says that when your father looks down at you, that you end up with a mental illness. But he right away said that, and I was like, I'm amazed. And we see that when the parents are your biggest fans, how so much of this behavior can go away. But in addition, we know that our kids are stabbed. There's an actual knife in there, and that has to heal. So you're giving them the ability to fight for themselves, to have the emotional stamina to go through getting clean, getting healthy. I mean, come on. Anybody try to lose 5 pounds? It's so hard. This is like this is what they have to go through. They get stabbed, and then they have to do all the work. It's mamash rachmanis. It's unbelievable. So you're giving them the emotional, and that's what Rabbi Gershon Zatzal also said. He said that when you're there, look at the video, right? He said when you're there for your kids the way we're doing it, right, with supplying, enabling, he says then you give them the emotional koiches, the emotional strength to get out of their mess. And we see it emotionally and also spiritually. Every day we get another person texting me, oh, my kid wants mezuzah in the house. I'm like, wow, on tefillin, and we're getting good news. Mitzvah Hashem by all of you.